Alright guys, I just wanted you to see that in fact this is the last video in this series. Hooray! It is all finito. Some of the things I've done, I'll give you a quick run through. It'll be very fast. This little deal here, instead of ordering one on the internet at a cost of about $15, which included shipping, I decided to just fire up the computer and the printer and make my own. Yeah, it's a little bit off on the color from the original, but I don't know, it seems to me a lot of that original was cigarette stain, from tar and all that. This will work well until maybe someday I buy another one. If not, not a problem. Okay, I got everything. I changed Elvis Presley to the Four Seasons, one of my favorite groups I grew up with as a kid. Elvis was just a little bit ahead of my time. I preferred the Four Seasons and the Motown sound and stuff like that. That was where I came to be. Alright, let's take a look on the inside. And let's go ahead and fire up the lights one more time. Looks really nice, doesn't it? All cleaned up, looking good. We got it all together. I hooked up everything to include the solenoid that changes these as you play a record in a slot. A little solenoid jumps up, catches the little edge right there. See those little serrated type edges or gear type edges? It's on the back, and it'll bring it up, catch the edge, and move it to the next slot. So that's how they know how many records have been played since the time the previous repairman or serviceman had been there. Everything else is good. The only thing I don't understand why I do not have a light set up behind this. I checked around on the internet on AY100s, and underneath this thing, on some of them, was a white heat protector and a light reflector, and there were two bulbs underneath this thing, here and here, that went down and were wired into the those contacts in front of the mechanism down there. So I don't know. All of that was missing from here, and so I don't know. Anyway, I've got all the records racked full with the exception of one, and you're not going to believe it. It is Secret Agent Man. I don't know where it went. It is somewhere in that house. I put it up where it would not get damaged or not get hurt and injured and scratched. It turns out that's one of my very favorite old records. I got to find it and get it in there. Matter of fact, I even have it ready for slot number 1 here. So that was sent to me by good old Scott. And don't worry, Scott, we're going to find it. It's there somewhere. A couple of more things about this. This particular glass is different from all the others I've seen on the internet that people have put on there. I don't know if they cut. It looks to me like they might have cut these things out themselves. Somebody at one time cut these out, because the other glasses don't have that. I don't know why they cut it out. They put something there. I don't know if this is a reproduction glass. I have no idea. It's the strangest thing, but somebody has cut it out. See those little cut marks? Let me zero in on the cut marks. Come on, baby, where are you? Here you are. See those lines and cut marks? I don't know why they did that, but we can put something cool in there. Maybe some kind of stick-on colored thing that when the light lights up, it'll light up different colors. I think that would be kind of neat, because then regular glass does not have that. These up here they had to do with the Artist of the Week. I think it might have been their songs, their key songs that they had, or some kind of information, or various photographs of the Artist of the Week. Atco gave me a good idea on that. Atco 21117 out there in Maryland. He has an AY100 just like this, and he put various photographs of artists from the 1960s in there. He got them on the net, printed them out, cut them out, and stuck them on the back. I thought that was a very good idea, so I'll probably do the same thing. That's where I got this one right here. Went ahead and printed it out on photo paper and stuck it on the back there. Pretty cool, I thought. But I would like to figure out a way to get lights on this, so I guess Brendan and I will be working on this in the future one more time. But it's all done, guys. It's all done. That little button that I used to give myself credit fit very nicely in this key, the original key ring holder. I just had a key in there, and it fit right in there. It worked perfectly, and I just ran the wires all the way down through the inside. That's those two wires right there. Ran them all the way down to the credit unit. Plugged them in, good to go. Good to go. Okay, let's give some credit where credit is due. This has been a year-long project. Like I said, I think it was July 18th. Was actually a year. I don't want to do any more year-long projects, guys. I'm not going to do any more year-long projects. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Anyway, I want to give some credit to people who stuck with me through the entire thing. Some of them contributed things, others did not. Some of them contributed just moral support, which is what I greatly appreciated, to keep me going, keep me motivated. Way to go, John. Stick with it. You're getting it. There were times I didn't think I'd ever get it, but there was always somebody there. Hey, you're getting there. You're getting close. I'm like, you have no idea. I'm 5,000 miles away. Okay, let's go down the list. Of course, we have Brendan. Brendan, my electronics mentor, mechanical mentor. He's the mentor on everything. And he's always there when I need him, and even when I don't need him, he'll send me stuff and say, "Hey, look what I found here. You might be interested in this. Check this out." He's got all the answers. If he doesn't have the answer right then, he just goes out and finds it and comes back and says, "Here's what I got on it." And man, I cannot tell you how much of a crutch he has been for me. We'll get to Brendan here in a minute. Mike from Georgia. Mike from Georgia contributed over 40 records to this jukebox project. What a guy. I get this box through the mail. You saw it a few videos ago. Here it was. I made sure he was compensated, I thought, well enough last Christmas at the Salvation Army bucket. If you don't think I contributed enough, Mike, let me know, because Christmas is right around the corner. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm going to be putting money in there anyway. I always do every year. I think it's important. It's a good charity. And Scott Johnston from Virginia, I already told you, he contributed a record. It was Secret Agent Man. I had been looking for it. I couldn't find it, and guess what? I still can't find it. I cannot believe I did that. It's here somewhere, Scott. I will find that record. I stuck it up where it wouldn't get damaged because it's one of my favorite types, or it is one of my favorite records. Atco 21117 out in Maryland. Every time I needed something, a picture, or ask him a question about his AY100, he would come back and tell me what. Just recently, he gave me some information that I needed. I said, "Would you mind checking your jukebox and telling me about this, this, and this, so I can compare it to what?" Because he's the only one I know that has a Seeburg AY100, and he always does. Not a problem. He takes care of me, and I appreciate that. I'm a Junk Collector also sent me some records. Oh, did he send me some records? I'm a Junk Collector. He's one of these guys that my dad used to have a saying, and he used to tell me this all the time. And of course, his words were a little harsher than mine, but I want you to know that I think my dad's words fit Don up in Ohio. I'm a Junk Collector. They just fit him very well. My dad always used to describe certain people, good folks, that he liked. And he would say, he's the kind of guy who would give away his butt and crap through his ribs. He was very generous. He liked people who were generous, not because they would give him things, but because he liked that kind of personality. But he always used to tell me, that guy's something else, man. He'd give away his butt and crap through his ribs. And that's the way Don is. He's one of these guys. He's just very generous, very, very caring, very thoughtful. And he sent me records. He sent me other things as well. And you all saw them in the videos. Who's next? Star Carrier. Star Carrier sent me some records for this thing. I covered him in a shout out a couple of videos ago. Appreciated that. I don't know where Star Carrier lives. It seems to me it was Wisconsin, maybe? Anyway, Brendan, by the way, is up in Michigan. Stephen Hinkle. Stephen Hinkle is from overseas. I think he's from England. He was always giving me inputs. A lot of times, by the time he got his input in, Brendan and I had already taken care of it and moved on, he was right there, how about this, check that, check this, already did it, He was always like one step behind. Poor guy. I think it had something to do with the time zones or something. But I appreciated Stephen being there. Matter of fact, he just gave me a comment on my last video when I told him that, you know, the thing was playing and we're getting ready to wrap it up, he said, "Did you learn anything from this project?" No, Steve, I didn't learn a thing. I learned everything, buddy. I didn't even know. Let me tell you. Are you ready for this? I didn't even know how to turn the jukebox on. That's how much I knew about jukeboxes. Well, guess what? All of us who stuck with this project all the way through, we know a lot now. Yes, we do. Sky Carl, one of my rooters, one of my supporters, one of my get it, John, you're almost there, don't give up, don't quit. You're getting it. I just cannot wait to see it playing again and doing this and doing that. He was always there. He was my cheerleader, you know, rah, rah, rah. A lot of other guys did the same thing, but old Carl, I don't know. He just seemed to always be there, you know, no matter how bad things looked, no matter how terrible the machine was operating, he was always there. He's like me, you know, a very positive kind of person. You know, stay with it. Stay with it. You'll get it. All right, you'll get it. Bobby Technical Abyss. Bobby Technical Abyss. Let me show you something here. It's all behind me on my desk. I needed a brass fitting to hold the mechanism. I was using some piece of crap plastic rubber thing that I had manufactured because one of the brass supports was missing when I got it, and he made me a couple of these right here. He says, "Send me the dimensions. You know, tell me what the size is, the diameter, and the size of the hole, and all that jazz, the height. I'll make you some." All right. He said, "I'll make you one for the machine," and he made me two. And there it is right there. I'll zoom in on this baby. Let you see what it looks like. This is the second one. So if I ever need another, there it is. I've got it. Bobby Technical Abyss made that thing. So thank him a lot for that. I already have. And you know, I thank all you guys for everything you've done. I really do. I decided to take a little break at this point and go in the house and get a cup of coffee. While I was in there, I went through some of the back videos. I wanted to make sure I got as many people included in my credit due. I know I'm going to miss some. I'm sorry. Just don't take it as a slight. You know, I went through as many of the videos as I could and picked up the names of the folks that were there most of the time. And I already had them on the previous list, but I want to make sure I got them all. Buzz 1151 up there in the Portland, Oregon area. He was one of those doubting Thomases. I think he wanted me to be successful, but at the same time, he kind of doubted. Matter of fact, once I got a couple of things done, he said, "Hey, now take it and send it to a professional to get it fixed." I am a professional. Ansel, our good buddy Ansel, always there, always coming up with good ideas. Ansel always coming up with even ideas on his garden, and also giving me encouragement. Ron C. down there in Florida. Ron is, you know, he's a never-ending source of encouragement. I'm glad to see that he's sticking with his electronics projects. I'm glad also to see that he's taking a little break once in a while and just getting on with life. It's, you know, this electronic stuff is great, it's fun, but keep in mind, it's a hobby. That's all it is. Guys like me, retired, nothing else to do, it's more than a hobby. It keeps us alive, okay? Trust me on that. AM station engineer. AM station engineer. His name is Tim. I believe he lives up in Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken. Boy, I'll tell you what, that is about the smartest guy. I've never seen a guy who knows so many things about so many, knows so much about so many things. I mean, he knows about stuff even Brendan and I can't come up with. He really does. And he's always throwing in there with, you know, comments. Sometimes they don't apply at all, but I always read them because I learn something new every time. So I appreciate him being there. Old 64 Goat. Old 64 Goat, always there. And, you know, and the good thing about Bill up there in Connecticut, you know, whenever I'm working on a jukebox or a radio or something, and I really get tired, I can go in the house, bring up one of his videos, start watching, and immediately fall asleep. Okay. I appreciate him making me get my snooze time, Bill. Appreciate that. Right now he's trying to get his snapper to work. Moslack, always another encourager. Keep at it, John. He gives me a couple suggestions now and then. Don't give up. Basically, another Sky Carl. Paulie H. Paulie H is an interesting study. Don't think I don't notice all you guys that pop in, because I do. Paulie H he's sort of a subdued kind of good job, stay with it. You know, I can tell that he really appreciates watching these videos. He may not be particularly interested in this particular project, but he's still there to help out, you know, to keep my mind right, to keep me focused. And he's one of those good guys, you know, that always has something positive to say, which is what I like. Dr. Olds 100, I really like it when he chimes in because his icon is of an Oldsmobile. I think it's 72 Olds, I think it is. Nice car. No, 71, I think he told me. Nice car, nice icon. Always got something positive to say also. And of course, the only lady who ever comments on any of the videos that I do is Virginia McJunkin. Virginia McJunkin. The only, you know, she's the queen of this channel, I guess you would call her. She's the only lady that ever takes the time to write a comment, and I appreciate that. I really do. And I know she's probably interested in seeing the final product, but all the junk that we have to go through to get there probably really doesn't interest her that much. But you know, she probably appreciates. She's my age. She appreciates seeing a nice functional jukebox. I'm sure. So we appreciate you being here, Virginia. Tom MGB out there in California. Tom MGB, always a source not only on this channel, but on the Antique Radio Forum. He's always tooting my horn for me, and you know, I appreciate that. A lot of young guys starting out in the radio repair, he'll always refer to them. He'll say, look, check this, check that. There's a guy out there named John. You know, he lives in Arkansas. Look at some of his videos. You're just starting out. You can learn a lot from that stuff, and I really appreciate that. Not from me getting credit, but I appreciate it that you push the young guys toward videos like mine, and it helps them. That's what's good. You know, it keeps the hobby going. Sam I Am. I really like that handle. I wish I was Sam. I'd be Sam I Am. He's another one. Always there, always giving me comments. I appreciate that. And I like the fact that it's positive. I try to keep all the negative jokers off our channel. And when I say our channel, that's what I mean. This is our channel, not just mine. It's all, you know, one guy commented one time, he says, Jesus, you know, there's a notable lack of trolls and stupidity on your channel. Do you you know, police it? Do you, you know, censor your channel? Well, of course I do. I think it's a responsibility of every YouTube channel holder to keep these idiots out of everybody else's. Why should we all have to put up with that? You know, I don't put up with it. You know, I had one guy tell me, I told him one time, I said, why don't you block this guy? He's a total moron. Why are you putting up with him? Oh, I believe in free speech. Well, fine and dandy. He can do it out there in the street, not on a YouTube channel that we're working real hard to keep positive. And, you know, it's family oriented, that sort of thing. Okay, let's move on to the next group. I just went through that list I just made. Let's go on to the next group, and then we'll wrap things up. Gordon Cole, another one of these. This is great, John. I'm really learning a lot. He's another one of these Sky Carl guys. And Gordon, you know, and I think Gordon's from England. He's from over there. He's England or Wales or something. England? Yeah, somewhere over there. Anyway, I'm sorry, Gordon. I can't remember offhand what country you're from. I know it's not the States. He's from a country overseas. And he's another one of our great supporters. Stay with it. Don't give up. It's you know, it would be not playing at all. He'd say, oh, it's looking good. I got a kick out of that a lot. All right, who else we got here? Harry Hall. Harry Hall chimed in almost at the end of this, about a little past, around 3/4 of the way through. I guess he had noticed it on YouTube and decided he'd help out. He worked on jukeboxes with his dad for many years, and I guess he worked by himself afterwards. And he gave me a lot of good advice. He's the one that actually got me kicked off in the beginning. I guess he chimed in early. Yeah, he chimed in early when we started to do the mechanical side of this house, the electronic side, because I couldn't get anything to work. I thought that power transformer was burned out, and he said, no, no, no. Until you put money in the machine, the rectifier will not come online, which instantly registered in my head. I said, well, why, you know, I'm thinking, how dumb could I have been? Why didn't I know that? They would not sit there, let that jukebox sit there and have that rectifier burning up every day. It wouldn't last very long that way. So he got me cranked up, and he told me about a bunch of other things that needed to be done, and we checked it, we did it, and he was a lot of help also. So I had Brendan on one side, Harry Hall on another with the see, because Brendan had never done any field work on these kinds of machines, whereas Harry Hall did. It was very, very valuable type of stuff, field work on anything. I don't care what it is. Who's next here? Sparky, 1958. He was another one with lots of good information. He has a jukebox of his own, and he was always chiming in. Sometimes he missed a boat by a day or two. We'd have already fixed it and moved on. Sometimes he gave a lot of good advice, and I paid attention to it. So he helped out a lot too. Sparky, 1958. And who we got last? Last but not least, that's for sure. Phil from Sheffield, England. Phil from Sheffield, England. He's a Steel City 321 PB, and he pipes in every so often, you know, and he's got a lot of experience in electronics also, and you know, jukeboxes. He's fixed several, and so I paid attention to everything he said too. But I said in one of my videos that he's been holding out on us. He has been holding out on us. In the middle of Sheffield is an interesting street. He should go down to that street, go into a few of those establishments, and give us a video on it. We're waiting on that, Phil. Don't you hold out on us. Can't remember the name of the street. It's about a mile long. You know what I'm talking about. Down in the middle of Sheffield. We want to see. You know, inquiring minds want to know, Phil. All right. I know that there's others I failed to mention. I should have. I can't remember you all. It's not a slight. You know who you are. And I appreciate all the help I got from everybody. Everybody. I wish I could have remembered everybody and just listed them all, but what I'm going to do, I shut the machine off after it played just a little while because I didn't want to get a copyright deal. What I'm going to do is later on I'll put up 1 or 2 videos with playing several songs, and that way if they blank out the video or shut down the video, it's no loss. At least this particular video will still be up, okay? Alright, that's it. You know, that is it for our jukebox. I have a few things left to do, tiny little things, you know, little cosmetic stuff. I'll be working on that on the side, getting it where I want it, and we'll come back at a later date and look at it again. But I just wanted you to know that this project, after a little over a year, is now closed. Alright, now that the jukebox series has ended, I'm going to kick off on the Zenith 7S, I think it's a 6 or 833. What is that stupid thing? I can never remember the number. It looks like a 7S 633 is what it looks like. It might be an 833. I don't know. I didn't know once. I'll look it up again. It doesn't matter. But we're going to go ahead and kick off on this project. I'm not going to do this as a YouTube series. This is going to be something I'm doing off of YouTube. It is for our dentist, one of our subscribers. You know, here I am talking about the jukebox, and he wanted to know if I'm going to do the radio for the dentist. I couldn't see the connection between what we had done and what we were going to do. If I say I'm going to do it, I do it. It might take a while, okay? Just be patient, fellas. It may take a whole year, which in this case it did, almost. But anyway, this thing is going to be completely repaired. We're going to retone the cabinet. We're going to make it dark here and dark along here the way it's supposed to be. This old red secret cloth, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to clean this baby up and make it look good. And same thing with the chassis. I've removed all the tubes. Some of them were marginal. Most of them were just barely hanging in there, but they were working. But I said, you know, that dentist of mine, he deserves the best I can give him, and he's going to get the best I can give him. So all those tubes went right in the garbage. We're going to give him good stuff. This is going to be a good radio. I'm going to really put an extra special human effort into this, okay? And I want him to be proud to put it in his house. He's a dentist. He's got a nice house, lots of money. And, you know, every time I visit him, I always tell him I'm here to make your next Lexus payment. He says, I don't have a Lexus. So he's a heck of a guy. I went to see him today about a little problem I had. He fixed it, and again, didn't charge me anything. I said, Doc, you got to stop this, you know. He said, don't worry about it. I want to do it that way. I said, okay, buddy, okay. He's also helping my daughter, whose husband is going through a catastrophic illness right now. She needed some work done. He heard about it, and he's taking care of her dental needs for free. I told him, I said, Doc, any costs that run over and above what you want to pay or what you consider to be reasonable as far as helping someone, you let me know. I'll take care of it. He said, don't worry about it. It's taken care of. I said, Doc, I mean it. I said, we're not paupers. He said, don't worry about it. It's taken care of. This was today. He told me that. I said, okay, whatever. But this is one thing he can't turn down. When I take this radio up to him and it plays nice and it looks great, he will not turn it down. And he can't turn it down because I won't let him turn it down. I hope to have it to him by Christmas. I want this to be a Christmas gift for he and his family. And so we'll see what we can do. So I guess that's the end of everything. I'm really happy everybody stuck with me, like I said, from beginning to end. It's been a year. Right in the beginning, old Lockmeister said, this could take a year, John, to do this jukebox. He nailed it. It took just a little over a year. I didn't think it would take that long, but it sure did. And I couldn't have done it without the help of Brendan. I'll tell you, without Brendan, almost none of these projects would ever get done. I mean, when I get into a bind, I get a hold of him. And he's always told me, look, John, if you ask me what time it is, I'm going to tell you how to build a watch. And he's right. Some of his answers were very lengthy, but they were always to the point, led me along, brought me to where I needed to go. And we got the job done. We were actually a pretty good team together. So actually, and all of us are a good team on this channel. Trust me. I've already mentioned all of you who have already helped. So let's wrap this up, and from here on out it'll be Thunderbird videos for a while until I get enough time or get caught up on the T-Bird where I can back it out of the garage. And then we might take the cover off the pinball machine again and see what we can find on that, okay? So we have a couple of things that are still in the works, but this here will be my private project. I'll let you see it when I'm done, let you listen to it, but this will be my little private project. For our dentist, who's a heck of a nice guy. Until next time, this is John.
Little GTO, you